Welcome to Metaphysical Hippie Chicks 2.0. I'm Susanna Masseri, psychic medium and author of Living Beyond Death. My co-hosts are psychic medium Annalisa Bastiani and ET experiencer Terry Scalia. We focus on grounded, honest conversations about consciousness, mediumship, channeling, ETs, psychology, and modern spiritual culture. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Annalisa and Terry.
How you doing?
Hi.
Good to be here.
This is part 2.
Because we can't shut up about this subject.
I know.
It's in our blood.
It's in our blood.
It's in our genes, in our DNA.
So in our continuing conversation, in the last episode, we talked about how mediums get information. We talked about different realms and vibrations, and we were talking about negative energies and people that come through, and how can you trust people that come through. I had a conversation with Abram this morning, the entity or source that comes through to Tom. So I asked him, when I or any other medium gets information, whether it be through a vision or any other sense, how is that coming through? How does the information come through? And he responded, when you get information, it comes to you energetically, through energy. People think that an entity will step into a channel's body, or people think that an entity will talk directly to a medium. The entity uses energy to convey information or messages, so what you get from a source or an entity will be through energy. This is why many mediums and many channels give the wrong information, because their conscious mind is always in the way. Should they remove themselves, set themselves aside, they would be able to then get the information correctly through energy. So what happens with you, and he was speaking directly to me, so what happens with you is there is a field of energy that is set up for you and for your source or entity, whoever that might be. This field of energy allows the entity or source to give you the information, sometimes telepathically, usually energetically. You, let me put it this way, you kind of absorb the information, you feel it, and then you give it. So really, entities do not step into a body for channeling. Entities do not talk directly to mediums. If I was an entity, I would not be doing this. I'm going to tell you something about this person, and I want you to listen. Does not happen that way. It is all done energetically. People converse with each other, and you use names. Most ETs do not use names. They converse with each other by experiencing each other, which is primarily what you are doing with an entity or a source who is with you at any given time. You experience their experience, and they experience your experience, and the information is exchanged in that way. Anything you want to talk about with that?
That's spot on.
Yeah, I feel that that's exactly how I feel it.
I have tried on numerous occasions to try to get names of ETs, and that's just not something they're interested in. It's like they don't really have names. You know who you're talking to by their vibration.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can't put words to that.
No.
If I'm speaking to someone who's crossed over who used to be human, I still don't really get names, but I definitely, the response I always get if I'm talking to a guide or, angel or guide or whatever you experience them as, it's always, you give us a name. We don't care about the name. Whatever works for you, you give us a name. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
really?
Yeah, whatever you want, we'll go with it.
Yeah.
ETs, definitely, they do not have names because, like Abram says, they experience each other. Mm-hmm. They know each other's energy. They kind of converse with their energy. It's like when I have people come through and they've been through before, I recognize them by their energy.
Yeah.
I don't have to know a name. I recognize the energy of that person.
Who is that?
I don't know. I was wondering what that is. I was like, is there a cat? What's going on?
Is that like a shadow?
What are you talking about?
She's got a visitor.
Yeah. All right.
In whose home?
Right up in my screen. Right. It comes in right here.
Yeah, it's not there right now, but it kind of comes in. And I'm like, do you have an animal or is that something else? Or we have a visitor.
Visitor.
Okay, so the second question I asked, a lot of people believe in different realms or different vibrations of different realms, and someone that may come through has not fully crossed over and they are staying in the human dimension of emotion, still experiencing anger or negative emotions. And he says, no, no, no. When you die, you take with you your emotions, attitudes, beliefs, desires, wants, wishes, demands, and all the rest that you had in physical life. And soon it all goes away. The more you realize yourself as being non-physical, the more all of that goes away. Realms, you can believe in realms, you can believe in the matrix, you can believe that your reality is a simulation. You can believe anything you would like to believe. But in reality, when you think of realms, you can equate realms to levels of consciousness, which equates to, if you were going to reincarnate, what would you like to experience in your next physical lifetime? Maybe a denser energy. Why would you want to do that? So you can learn how to, let me put it this way, promote yourself within yourself so that you can graduate and move up in frequency just a bit. People want to raise their frequency a lot. It does not raise a lot. It can raise a bit, but a bit is enough to put or place you in a higher realm. Let me put it that way.
I find that very interesting that throughout my journey of doing this, I have struggled with language. What do I actually believe in? I'm not entirely sure half the time because I'm using words to describe something that I can hold on to in order to describe it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's real. It could be metaphor. Like when we say realms, to me, it could very well be a metaphor for what I don't understand is bigger than that. So I don't hold on to the words because I think so much of what I say to try and describe is like trying to describe war to a 5-year-old. I mean, you have to condense it to so people can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. I totally get that. What kind of sets me off is there are a lot of mediums, psychics, whomever out there who have a whole system of a whole belief system
Yeah, I agree.
where you have to get through 9 realms. You have to get through
No.
these 9 different realms
No.
to be able to become
I don't-
enlightened.
Yeah, I don't believe
Yeah,
that.
I don't like that crap either.
That's a whole belief system that's out there a lot with the new age stuff going on.
Hey, and that works for some people. That's great, but I don't want to get stuck in beliefs. I mean, I did not have a horrible upbringing in terms of religion. I grew up in a very progressive Catholic side of things. Like California Catholic is different than Deep South Catholic, I've found out. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
there are just different flavors of Catholic and therefore different flavors of all religions, right?
Sure.
And mine was not oppressive and bad in the way that other people's may have been. But it is a strong dogmatic belief stuff that I really don't like and I really get away from.
Yeah. It's
I can agree with that because I was raised Catholic too. I'm still recovering from that.
Yeah, ditto.
I'm so lucky I was Episcopalian.
All right,
But
see?
but you know what's weird? My son Bryson and I were talking about this a couple of days ago. If I walk by a Catholic church or I'm inside a Catholic church,
Mhm.
I still feel that really strong sense of it's drawn to me, like it's a part of me.
Yes.
I did have an experience one time where I had a past life experience where I was a nun, but I was a very psychic nun or a metaphysical nun. I was a very spiritual nun. I was a mystical nun. And I remember one time walking into a convent because my ex-husband's aunt was a nun. She's no longer here, but she was a nun. And we went to go pick her up at the convent. And when I walked in there, I just almost broke into tears because I felt like I was home. It was such a strong reaction. And I still get that reaction. I'm not sure what that's about, but yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about religion. In my mind, religion has its purpose. It's like a stepping stone, right? It's most people have to go through the religious experience to get where they need to be. And as long as it makes you a good person, who cares? I mean, believe what you want to believe. Go to whatever church you want. I have nothing bad to say other than the fact that you don't tell people you're better than them and
Yeah.
you need to be saved. I have a real issue with that because
It's
that's
dogma. Yeah, I hate dogma.
yeah, I just oh
To this day, I struggle with what you just said. I can go into a Catholic church and feel complete calmness, relaxation, connection to the divine. And when I left the church, I was like, well, how do I connect to the divine now? Because if I'm throwing, I feel like I'm throwing away the baby with the bathwater when it comes to that. And I'm still trying to find that constant connection that I had or perceived that I had with what I consider the divine, or that feeling, that pull in other things that I'm kind of into. Like I was trying the pagan thing for a while and more of the goddess empowerment thing. And I want that to be more aligned with what I'm into, but it still doesn't hit the same way doing the rosary does. And so
I know.
I keep the rosary. I still do the rosary.
I know. I was thinking about just the other day, I need to get another rosary.
Right? What is it about that? It's amazing.
I don't know.
I
don't
still
know.
have the rosary that you sent me, Annalisa.
Do you?
I do. I do.
Oh, wow.
And my experience in the Episcopal Church was a great one.
Right.
I have nothing bad to say about my religious experience. It just got to a point where we just didn't jive anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it was such an important part of my life. I was there all the time. I sang in the choir.
Me too.
I was in the Girls Friendly Society.
Oh my goodness. And I go to Episcopal church sometimes because the Catholic Mass is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm more Episcopalian,
Yeah, we just didn't have the smells and bells.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, I do kind of miss the frankincense. But other than that.
Well, if you think about it, we're still on another stepping stone, right? There's further for us to go as well.
Yeah.
I feel like this is whatever it is you're looking for.
No.
This is a stepping stone for us as well.
I don't think we ever find it. We're
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It just constantly
It's always
changes.
a quest. Yeah.
Mhm.
No destination. Yeah.
No, and I love the journey. I love it.
Mhm.
I
It
love
is. It is absolutely about experiencing that
Mhm.
journey. And this works and this doesn't work. I mean, it's Goldilocks. This is not where I'm at anymore. It was great while I was here, but now I've evolved to a different direction. And that's what religion is for me. It's finding, again, that feeling that I had that I liked and discarding the stuff that I find that is not aligned with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So another question that I asked Abram was about that male entity, deceased person who came through for my client, a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was her brother, and why I experienced him being so stellar of a person and so good of a person. And she was like, no way. He was manipulative. He was evil. He did horrible things. No. So I asked Abram about that. Abram's response was, when you die, you begin to realize yourself or realize yourself in a different way. You then create an emotional response to yourself from yourself that will allow or help you to realize yourself in a better way. Better is not a judgment word. You could have been a disaster in your lifetime. Physically, you die. In death, you begin to realize yourself and you begin to become again. Better is not a judgment, a better person in non-physical form. This can happen. So I know we've talked about, and he said something else. I'll get back to what else he said, is that when we die, we are not automatically enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep all of our personality, our desires, thoughts, everything else that he had mentioned, until we start experiencing ourselves in a greater way. And we expand ourselves. And this happens differently for every person because we're all unique. And once you realize your true self, who you truly are, and that you drop the persona of being in this life, you drop the persona of this personality, you become a lot more than what we are here.
You did that reading for me after my dad died.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, when he was here, was not a nice person. He was very violent. He was he was just not a nice person. I'm not going to go into it. But anyway,
Yeah.
when he died, I still had that, like I was never close to him and I was always afraid of him. So I was kind of glad he was gone. But you did that reading for me and you gave me a whole different dad. And I'm like, you're talking to the wrong person.
Who's this guy?
That is not my dad. That is not my father at all. And I still struggle with that because, I still, when I think of him, I still see him as that horrible person that he was to us. And the man that you described was a completely different human. I mean, well, he's not human anymore, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. He came through. Now, his transition was very smooth, and he was able to drop his personality that he had here very quickly. And he came through, Annalisa, like a philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
And he was talking about how proud he was of Terry and was supportive of everything that she's doing, talked to her about her extraterrestrial connections. But this huge, he just turned into this huge philosophical guy.
That's wild.
And she was like, oh.
Who the hell is this dude?
But we did 3 readings with him coming through. And each time there was more information and what he was doing on the other side and taking care of babies who had crossed.
He was building
Building cradles.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah. And I think it was for children, for babies who had traumatic deaths.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that there was a whole group of veterans
Oh, yeah.
that were together helping children in various different ways.
Oh.
And I've had different groups of veterans come through before and how they were helping people, especially children with traumatic deaths and children who were ready to reincarnate and helping them kind of transition between, or at least preparing from spirit form into a physical body, into a physical life.
He's here. I feel my dad right now. Yep, I do. I do.
He
I
is.
do. I do. I feel him.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a lot of love coming from him.
I love that. That's a healing thing right there, to have this negative experience kind of transmuted.
It's like this soft feeling. Maybe he's the guy that was over here.
Maybe.
Could be.
He's saying hi.
Could be. Do you want to hear what I'm picking up from him?
Sure.
Sorry, that wasn't for me to say.
Oh, what?
I said sure before she did. I was like, I want to hear it.
Well, you jump in too, Annalisa. But
Yeah, you
what I'm
jump in
getting
too,
is that since the time of those readings, he's grown so much more. And right now he sees himself as an educator, not necessarily a teacher. He's saying he doesn't like that kind of title, that it's more, I don't know what the word is. It's more, it's better for him, and this is better not being a judgment, better to see himself as an educator and not a teacher. You're getting that? Because for him, for the way that he's seeing it, there is a difference between teacher, because that kind of reminds you of being in a classroom where the teacher is in control. An educator is more,
it's a back and forth,
flowing, and where you can exchange equally energy with another person. And that's what he prefers. He has moved on from doing the cradles, making the cradles, that there are others that are stepping into that role, and that it was time for him to move on from that role, and that he's educating souls on abuse. He's working especially with men who are abusers, so that they can honestly see themselves and how they can adjust, so that if they decide to reincarnate again, not that they won't continue doing that, but that they have a better understanding of themselves. And he's saying it's up to them on whether they reincarnate and whether they go through that cycle again. It's up to themselves. what he does is educate them and to help them understand why that was part of their personality so that they can understand more of themselves so that they can make better decisions. I'm going to put it that way. He has not forgotten about you and the struggles that you're going through. And he's basically saying that with a certain person, you do have to cut that cord. You have so much invested emotionally because of your expectations of that person, and those expectations were not met.
You mean of my mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
That your expectations were not met as a child and even as an adult, and that you had put a lot of energy into those expectations and wanting to be loved and accepted and seen. And that didn't happen with either of them.
Right.
And that your focus should not be on him or her. It should be focused on you and your expectations and how that matters to you, and to dig for the meaning of that, the meaning of your expectations, and how that fits into basically how you feel about yourself. It's just a lot of inner work, Terry,
Yeah, I know.
that I'm feeling with this. But
Yeah.
he's just suggesting that you focus on you and how you responded to your expectations and not focus on what she did or he did.
Right. And that's what I've been doing with my therapy.
But he's so proud.
Oh my God.
He is so proud of you.
I wish he could have told me that when he was alive.
He didn't have it in him.
Yeah.
He just didn't have it. It wasn't there. He couldn't do that even for himself.
I know.
And he's just saying, keep doing what you're doing. That he said another thing that you're really, really trying to face is fear.
I'm really trying to face
Fear.
fear.
And he wants you to know that you're safe. You're safe to explore all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees what your little grandson, how many children does your daughter have?
I have two grandsons, one from two daughters. So I have a 5-year-old grandson and then a 17-year-old grandson.
Okay, he's talking about the one that is 5 years old.
Okay.
He watches over that child.
Oh, that's sweet.
And the child is aware of him. He doesn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
He feels him. He feels, when he's around, he feels something different.
That doesn't surprise me.
Do you have anything to add, Annalisa?
It's funny because the educator thing popped up because as a kid, I remember a teacher telling me that the meaning of the word educate was an exchange of ideas, not just one teaching other people. So that hit home as soon as you said that to me. Dancing came up. I don't know why he tells me that he's dancing. He wants you to know that. And if that means anything, he has what I was feeling, and I, again, don't know the situation, don't know him, but I have this very jovial personality right now. I feel like he has whatever the negative side of what he was bringing into your relationship that he came in with is now dissipated, and that he is finding joy and fun where he never really focused on that before or was bitter about it before. So dancing comes up. Sledding in the snow came up for some reason that I have no idea. I get these images and I'm like, what in the world are you trying to tell me? But it seems to be related to fun, just genuine fun that he didn't have before and that he's having now. And he wants you to know you're allowed to have fun. Does that make sense to you?
It does. So
Okay.
the whole the teaching thing or the educate thing. My dad was retired Air Force, and then he went into law enforcement. So he was the guy who did all of the, he taught not self-defense. When you want to carry a gun, what is that called?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You carry a gun, you have to go through
The training. You have to go through training.
The training. And he taught that for a really long time. He got a lot of pride in anything and everything that had to do with him teaching or educating others about things having to do with the military or law enforcement or any of that stuff. He took a lot of pride in that made him feel really important, I guess, or useful. So that's really that's spot on. I can totally see him doing that now. What was the thing you said before the sledding? Oh, the dancing.
Dancing.
My dad was Mexican, so he loved to do the salsa type dancing.
Got it. Okay.
And whenever there was like some family event, he loved to dance. So he and my mom would get out there in the dance floor and dance. And when you said the dancing, that's what I envisioned, seeing him and my mom dance.
That is his true self, is when he's dancing.
Yeah.
The positive side of things is when he's doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And as far as the sledding goes, when we were kids, we used to go out when we lived in Montana, Wyoming, the states that we had snow. Us kids would go out and we would do sledding. He never went. I mean, he never participated in any of that stuff.
Funny.
So now he's sledding, and I love that.
I do too. That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's funny that seems so random to me that I was almost afraid to say it, because I'm like, oh, this sounds weird, but it literally popped into my head, sledding. So
that's cool, because we rarely had good times when we were kids. Mm-hmm. And one of the good times that we used to have was playing out in the snow and doing the sledding and stuff.
I love it. That's why he mentioned it. Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you guys so much. That was really sweet.
Your dad went into law enforcement? So did mine. Did you know that my dad was a detective?
I did.
We have that in common. Daughter of cop? Yeah, we have that in common.
Oh, okay. He wasn't like a police officer. He started out as a sky marshal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he did that for a few years, and then he was a customs patrol officer.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a career.
And then he worked for the courthouse, and he was the guy that would escort in the defendants and stand there in the court and make sure everybody was being nice.
Cool job. I mean, it's pretty dangerous sometimes. So that's intense.
He loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for coming through.
Wow, that was very unexpected.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God. And the fact that he is helping with abusive men, I was not expecting that. That is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. That's huge.
I'll mention quickly that from my experience, that when we cross over, when we're in spirit form, that we can choose to have a job or not. Mm-hmm. If we've had very traumatic life, we may choose to go into whatever dimension, whatever reality, and have the time of our lives. We can do what we want. We can have a period of rest if we want. A lot of people that come through have taken jobs that were meaningful to them. I had a woman who, when she crossed over, she created a space for horses that died traumatic deaths. And so she was taking care of horses. We can have whatever job we want. We're not assigned to any job, but we can create whatever job we want. But we don't have to either.
Yeah, my dad was not one for sitting idle. He always had to have something. He always had to be doing something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I believe that as well, that we create our own existence over there and we get to do whatever we want. If we want to be lazy and just eat Cheetos on the couch, I mean,
I'm sure I will do a millennium of that before doing anything else. I've heard that too. I don't know what that looks like, because in my mind, I'm thinking a physical situation where I'm sitting on a couch eating Cheetos, or where I'm doing helping other people, whatever job. I imagine, since my background is theater, I'd want to do more theater and that kind of stuff. So I kind of hope that there's more of that when we get there.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to do a little haunting when I die.
Oh, damn straight. I want to haunt. Who am I going to haunt?
In a fun and loving way.
In a fun and loving way. It's funny because I talk to people who are like, well, I don't go to the gravesite anymore. And I'm like, they're not sitting. Do you think if I'm going to be dead, I'm going to sit by my tombstone? No, I'm going to go to Disneyland. No, you kidding me? I'm going to be in the haunted mansion and just.
I went to a funeral, and after the funeral, you go to the gravesite, and I was kind of behind everyone, and the tombstones, I could see spirits standing behind their own tombstones.
I've seen that too.
But not every, it was sparse.
Yeah.
And whoa, this is cool. And they told me that they were there to welcome him to the neighborhood.
See, that kind of thing I can understand. Or they'll show up when you show up because you're showing up. But they're not there 100% of the time.
No. When you go do haunted houses and go to the graves and cemeteries and things like that, they're there because you're there.
Because you're there, exactly. I found that most when I did the Winchester Mystery House, I got invited to do a walkthrough of some places that the the general public doesn't get to go to. And it was super fun. And the one thing I got was, we're still here because we want this place to stay alive and make money. We know very well that we're ghosts, and we know very well that people come as a way to enjoy the house, and we want to keep it alive. Yeah. That's the message I got.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that.
Yeah. I think we talked about this before. Same in St. Augustine. There's a group of spirits that are there to take care of the tourists.
Mm-hmm.
It was wild.
It is wild.
It's wild.
So cool.
Okay. Going back to realms shortly. This is very short. This comes from Abram. People believe in realms, raising consciousness, and all the rest. When you think of levels, think of becoming more of yourself. To raise your frequency, you need to become more of yourself. Understand more of yourself. And here we go again. Deeper levels of your beingness. But levels are understandings. So if you think of levels, just think of understandings and consciousness. Mm-hmm. So the more you understand about yourself, the more you can raise your frequency just a bit. The more you understand about yourself, the more you understand that you are actually your reality. And what he's told me before about frequency, because everybody wants to raise their frequency, he said everybody is born with their own frequency, period. You can raise it just a bit, but you're not going to raise it to the level of, this huge transformation. Yeah. You come in with a certain frequency that is yours. It belongs to you. You can raise it just a little bit, but not to the extent of people selling classes to really raise your energy.
So I'm really not going to be sitting somewhere in a mountain so blissed out because I've raised everything so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wasn't sure that was going to happen.
So you can create that for yourself after you die.
After you die, yeah, exactly.
When a person like you guys are able to communicate with someone who has passed on, is there a leveling of frequency in order to feel that person? You have to kind of meet in the middle kind of thing, or how does that work?
To me, it's a merging of consciousnesses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a merging of energy. So nobody has to raise their energy or frequency. Nobody has to lower theirs. It's just all a myth, really.
And it's funny because when I first started, I did feel like we are in a denser situation. So it feels like we're underwater and they have to kind of lower to get into that water, and we have to kind of raise a little to meet up with them. I mean, that was how I, in my head, thought of it. But I don't think that, again, I think that's more metaphor than it is an actual...
That's how people explained it in the 70s because nobody could explain it. And that was the best that they could because people need to have things defined.
We need a visual and we need something to hold on to.
Yeah. And it's just energy. Everything is just energy. If we think that we're in a denser energy, that's what we're going to create for ourselves.
Yeah. A lot of it is always creating.
So is it true that we're all in the same place? We just don't or can't or unable to actually experience each other. In other words, there are no levels. There's just one space and we all kind of occupy the same space, but we occasionally, they can bleed through and we can even bleed through to the other side as well, and experience each other. I'm just kind of trying to have this make sense in my head as far as where we are, like in a location, in geographically, do we all share the same space?
Is heaven actually on earth?
Heaven is within you.
So yes and no.
Yeah.
Well, think of that, don't think of it, quite in that way. Maybe think of everything in dimensions, like we.
Oh, look, he's back.
Yeah. He's been back a couple times.
We go in and out of different dimensions all the time. We don't even know it. It happens so fast. And there are people in other dimensions that bleed through. I've seen people disappear right in front of me.
What?
Yeah. They gone. It was at the Atlanta airport. And I don't know why this couple caught my eye. I just saw them walking, and then they were gone.
Whoa.
That's
and
cool.
I got up and there was how in the Atlanta airport, there's all these little stores that you can go into. And I thought maybe they had slipped into this place where they could get magazines and everything. And I was in there looking, not there. They just disappeared.
Yeah, I don't see things like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't
So
experienced that.
they were probably, it was just probably a bleed through that they popped into this dimension and popped back into theirs.
Yeah.
Which is what we do all the time.
If we think of dimensions, I mean, again, we're speaking in metaphor because we don't actually have the, we're limited in this physicality.
Right.
So if it works for you, it works for you to say dimensions. If it works for you to think that we're all overlapping, that works too. But physical location is, again, like she said, it's within.
Yeah.
Which didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't, it's still hard to wrap my brain around that. Like heaven is within. Wait a minute. I don't feel like we're in heaven.
Didn't Jesus say the kingdom of heaven is within you?
He did.
Literally.
Yeah.
So
Which
is hell.
doesn't feel like it. Does not feel like it. I give up on believing in hell. I figure we're here.
We make our own hell.
I think we do.
We could be in hell right now.
And not even know it.
Yeah,
It
I've
is
never
a little-
believed that hellfire and brimstone,
No,
devil
I think-
waiting for you kind of thing.
Did you ever see the series Lost?
Yes.
Yes, isn't that weird? I was a little disappointed in the ending, but yes.
Oh, the ending sucked.
The ending was horrible.
Horrible. I was so pissed.
Everyone
I
was
was
pissed.
mad. Yes.
Season after season after season, and you're waiting,
You're like,
waiting.
What is this thing?
this-
Yeah.
Yes. And really?
Do you remember Dallas in the 70s and
yeah.
80s?
Yes.
Okay, when
yeah, the dream.
Bobby comes out of yeah. It was just a dream. Oh man, that is cheap. Come on.
But that is so lame. Those
is
writers got
lame.
really lazy.
Come on.
Lazy. That's it. They were just so tired of doing the writing all of these things, and they just said, you know what? Let's just end this. Let's just
Exactly.
come up, whatever you got. Let's
Finish
just
it.
draw straws. Yeah. Or write out a scenario on a piece of paper. I'll draw it from a hat. That's going to be it. And they picked the stupidest
Yeah.
one.
All right. So Abram goes on to say, and in reality, there are no level, there are no realms. There is only just and always energy, period. People define themselves according to what level they think they are on, believe they are on. Well, I am in the matrix. I am an avatar on level 1. My realm is level number 2. But I'm still on level number 1. They create imaginings. Many channels out in your public arena today are imagining. They are not channeling. They are imagining. Imagination does wonders for a person. But if you are to imagine that you are just becoming more complete within yourself.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
think that was it. That was it.
Good stuff. I
So-
like
So again, we're out of time.
again. The subjects we're going to have to keep revisiting because we just can't
I
get enough of
know,
it.
I know, because we haven't even gotten to what mediums often perceive around the time of death, the transition of consciousness.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Whether
All right,
people
part
know
three.
they've passed,
Part 3.
themes commonly shared from the other side, peace, clarity, perspective. It's all about connection. It's all about love and connection.
Okay, so
Because-
that's the preview for part 3.
Absolutely. Because in my experience, everyone that comes through for a client, they are here to help them.
Absolutely.
And they come out of love.
Always.
And they are here for the connection.
Yeah.
To that person.
Yep.
And it's also my understanding, and because it's happened several times, that they really would rather communicate directly to the client. And sometimes they will tell the person what they need to do to accomplish that so that they can have that direct
Absolutely true.
communication.
I get that a lot.
And sometimes in a reading, they'll come through and be chatty and tell me stuff. And then when it comes for the reading, they're quiet. Not a word, not a peep.
Oh, interesting.
And the first time that happened to me, I'm thinking, don't leave me hanging out here on a
Come on,
limb.
don't do that.
Please don't do this. And what I realized was that the father wanted to speak directly to his daughter. Has psychic and channeling abilities, mediumship and channeling abilities, but she has not developed them. So I put her through a relaxation and a visualization to meet him. Then I would just kind of guide her and ask her questions as gently as we were going on. And then after they got to a certain point, then he added me into the mix, into the communication. So it was a 3-way communication. But
That's
his goal was to speak directly to her. And that's happened a few times.
Wow, that's cool.
So the people that come through, they're here for love. They're here for communication. They're here to give messages. And sometimes they're here to speak directly to the client.
I love that.
Wow, that is really interesting.
So I always know how
Dana,
to-
when are you doing a development class? Because it sounds like you should be doing a development class, teaching it.
I did. I offered that, and people weren't doing their homework.
Oh,
They
that's a
weren't
pain.
working at it. And so I just stopped doing it, because if you're not going to be involved and you're not serious and you're not going to do any type of work and homework,
No, you can't.
it's a waste of time.
well, maybe now you have an opportunity to do that again with the platform that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we could all do it.
Yeah.
That would be
All three of
awesome.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Why don't we do that?
Okay, let's figure
We
that
should
out.
totally do that.
Do a
Other than we're-
mediumship development class.
That's
That
a
would be
great idea.
fun. Yeah, good idea. Okay, so this is part 2. We are definitely going to be doing a part 3.
We knew this wasn't going to get wrapped up today.
This is such a huge subject.
It's just huge. It
I
is
know,
because
I know.
it's what we're doing for one thing, and it's hard to
Yeah.
kind of just condense it. It's our favorite subject.
So for today, this is a wrap. If this episode resonated with you, please follow us so you don't miss what's unfolding next. And if you feel called, please share, rate, and review us. It helps us reach more souls who need these conversations. If you prefer video, you can find us on YouTube, and please join us on Facebook. Until next time, stay grounded, curious, and keep shifting from the inside out. We love you, appreciate you, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.